Hi, y'all. Welcome to Spirit Mail. I'm Cheryl, and this is Daily Mail episode 85. So, we're going to talk about quite a few things. The main thing I want to talk about is self-sabotaging your own meditation, and then we'll talk about some other things. I share stories with you from my own life because I feel like, number one, if you know you're not the only one it's happening to, it makes you feel a little bit better about it, and we can take things a little lighter and not get so caught up in beating ourselves up and stuff like that. We can kind of laugh it off and move forward from there. So we just came out of Easter weekend, and I have a traditional Christian background. So Easter weekend was coming up, and I was really wanting to have some kind of message to bring to you guys, a message of hope. And I know not everybody out there has the same Christian background that I have, but I do believe that Jesus and God aren't owned by Christians. I do believe that they're here for everybody to draw from. And like I said, I just really wanted to have some kind of great inspirational message of hope. And I kept getting in my mind, and there was something that I wrote probably about 5 years ago, and I thought, it's got to be that. It's got to be that. I need to go find it. And I looked for a little bit and never did find it. Never really dug deep and found it. But anyway, on Good Friday morning, after I got myself dressed, I was like, okay, just today. Just give me the message for today. Give me direction for the day. So I decided I was going to meditate. So I laid there, because I'm a lazy meditator. I lay down to meditate. So I laid there, but my mind was going round and round. Where is that thing that I wrote 5 years ago? I couldn't let it go. So on times like that, and times whenever I can't let it go, that's when I find guided meditation to be beneficial. So I got on my phone and I asked, in YouTube, guided meditation for daily direction. And what I got was guided meditation for life purpose. And I thought, well, I can make that work. They'll say life purpose. I'm saying daily direction. Spirit knows what I want, so I set my intention to get direction for the day. And then I turned on this guided meditation. And that's what I want to share with you guys about how we self-sabotage things. Or we can. We don't always, but we can. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. About 6 or 8 weeks ago, I felt guided to start a second channel and kind of separate the channels based on tarot and my Daily Mail following, who is mostly the same people that watch the deep dives and the interviews that I do. So I felt guided to separate that for whatever reason. And I kind of toyed with it and all that stuff, but I didn't take action. So lately, I've been watching as a couple of the readers that I like to watch now and then, they have been pulling back from tarot. And one of them, Evolve Butterfly, has started an actual coaching business, and she's taken all of her tarot readings off altogether. And I've not ever felt guided to do that, but like I said, I felt guided to separate it. So I'm watching her, and then a couple other people who are taking breaks from tarot or pulling back for whatever reason. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, am I missing something? So, am I missing something that I'm supposed to know? So anyway, I go into this guided meditation. I'm back now to Friday. I go into this guided meditation, and they walk you through this forest, this little path through this forest, and then you come out at the edge of the forest. There's this beach, which I love because the beach is my sanctuary, so to speak. So I get to this beach, and I'm sitting at the edge of the beach, and the water's coming up and, kind of lapping over my feet as I sit there. And I'm listening to this meditation, and it says, look up to your right and see your guide walking toward you. Well, I look up to my right, totally expecting to see my mom coming toward me, but I don't. It's Jesus. And I'm like, And the tears start rolling. I mean, they just start coming down. And he's walking down the beach toward me, and he's just walking like a regular old guy, and he's got on the garb, the robe and the sandals with the rope around the, just like you see him in the paintings. That's the only reference I have to what he would look like. So of course that's what I would see. So he's walking down the beach toward me, and all of a sudden these tears are coming out, and I'm feeling so loved, like I've just seen a long lost friend that I've missed for a long time. And so he sits down next to me and he takes my hand, and whenever he takes my hand, this warmth just douses over me, like from the head all the way down through my body, on the inside, through my body into my feet. And there's just this overwhelming sense of love and reconciliation to some extent. Well, I don't feel like it was really reconciliation, because I don't feel like I've ever been apart from Jesus, but to have him show up like that was almost like a homecoming, or I hadn't seen you in so long, oh my gosh, it's great to see you, that kind of thing. So then it gets to the part about the life purpose, and I look at Jesus and say, I just want to know about today. what's my direction for today? And he says, put the cards down. The tarot cards. So remember, over the last few weeks, I'm watching all these other readers put their cards down and step away from tarot to one extent or another. And I'm all of a sudden going, put the cards down. I did miss something. Did I miss something? And I'm starting to get all this fervor, worry that that I've not been connected. I've missed something. And then Doreen Virtue came to my mind, because she publicly left. She called it New Age. I don't feel like I'm a New Age person. I've never considered myself New Age. But she left New Age and went to Christianity because she had a visit with Jesus, and he told her that this was not right, or I don't know what exactly her story is, but she left it all together. The New Age culture, which she associates tarot with New Age. I don't. Anyway. So then I'm like, is it the whole Doreen deal? Because I'm having this conversation with Jesus, right, in this meditation, but I'm suddenly all in my head trying to figure things out instead of just continuing to listen. I'm suddenly all up in this conversation, and he laughed and he said, "You asked about today. Take a break." And then that was it. And then he got up and he walked back away, and I suddenly had this peace, and the tears kept flowing and all that other stuff. And then over the weekend, I didn't just take a break on that Friday. I took a break the rest of the weekend, and this guidance came back up about this second channel. So before I address that, let's talk about the meditation, the self-sabotaging. Again, I'm going to say, I got all up in that conversation instead of just remaining, because meditation, I always say prayer is where we talk, meditation is where we listen. So I set my intentions for the meditation, but as soon as he gave instruction, I started talking. I started, talking back, want to know, why are you saying this? What's it about? To have a, I got all up in my head. And so I kind of, I didn't lose the meditation because he answered me. He said, "No, you just asked about today." So I still got what I was looking for, what I was there to receive. But I feel like if I would have, and this is just me analyzing it, picking it apart, I feel like if I would not have gotten all up in my head, there might have been more to the conversation. I don't know. But I did get what I sat down to intend for, is my direction for the day. So now let's talk about this other channel. Whenever I started tarot, I started at the guidance of my guides. I felt like I was having actually a conversation with God. And basically, he was saying there are so many people out there looking for truth. And they, they need to hear from... Not that I'm the only one with a truthful message or anything like that, but they need to hear genuine, authentic truth. And I didn't know anything about tarot. I had been to a tarot reader a couple times in New Orleans as for fun, but I had never picked up a tarot deck at that time. And if you haven't heard this story, this is just a real brief recap of what happened. And so I ordered a deck. Spirit basically told me to order a deck. I ordered a deck. I played with the cards. I was like, wow. And then Spirit said, do a video. And on August the 5th of 2019, I did my first tarot reading online, and the rest is history. Here we are. But about 6 or 8 weeks ago, I started feeling guided to separate and do another channel. Continue to do tarot, but do this other channel, because whenever I started doing the Daily Mail, if you remember at that time, that was also I felt guided to do the Daily Mail and then do the interviews and stuff. But now I feel like they're asking me to separate it out. And that started about 6 or 8 weeks ago. I did not take action after this meditation on Friday, where I put the cards down and I just allowed myself to be in a receiving mode all weekend. I feel again, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to separate the tarot channel, and then I'm going to have another channel for the people who really want to go deeper and seek for answers, to understand what is it out there that's bigger, how does it affect us, what can we do to harness that energy in our own lives, not only to benefit ourselves but to benefit those that we love and those that we influence. What is all that stuff out there, and what is it about Jesus, and what is it about God, and you know, all of that. So that's going to be a whole separate channel. I will continue to do the Daily Mails here for a little while, and I'll continue to do the PSs on my Daily Mails on this channel. On the other channel, there will be no cards, period. It's going to be a different audience. Some of you are going to come along with me. I'm sure of it, and I look forward to it. And then there'll be new people from the tarot that eventually go into that also, I'm sure of it. That's the way they're showing it to me. But there's also going to be a different audience attracted that would not that feel like tarot is elementary for them for whatever reason. It's the message I'm getting. But anyway, so just so you know, that's where we're headed. I do feel like the channel will launch this week, and I know that sounds crazy because I haven't even thought of a name for it yet, but that's how Spirit works. That's how this channel launched. So there you go. But right now we're going to get a PS about the meditation, right? About self-sabotaging our meditation. I did shared with you an email from one of our viewers once where she was doing this guided meditation. She was running around getting tea and coffee and wanting to make sure all her guides were comfortable and all that stuff. Whenever we get so busy within the meditation, like that, like she did and like I did in my head, got so busy in the meditation trying to figure things out, we cut off our receiving mode because we go into work mode. So basically that's what that's about. So if you've been self-sabotaging your meditation, you're not the only one who does it. We all do it at some point or another, especially, I'm going to say, especially us air signs, because that's what we do. We're always in our head. But laugh it off. Laugh with your guides. If it's Jesus, laugh with Jesus because he thinks it's funny too, believe it or not. And then move on. Do better next time. Okay, God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit. And you know what? Do better is not even the right way to say it, because it's not that it's better, because every experience teaches us. If we're awake, if we're listening, if we're paying attention, every experience will teach us. Okay. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, thank you so much for this Daily Mail community, and thank you for the prospects of a new channel. I look forward to seeing what happens there too. And thank you for showing me in this meditation. Prayer is about us talking to you, and meditation is about us listening for you. Show us clearly, what is the PS? What could I have said better? Or what did I leave out altogether? I thank you for clear and concise messages. I thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And I thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Show us clearly, what is the PS? I do hope you guys had a wonderful Easter weekend. I also hope that you stayed safe and that you stayed quarantined and that you enjoyed your family maybe via Skype or Zoom or something like that. Do stay safe, be responsible, stay inside, wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't kiss each other unless you're already in the house together. That's a different story, but be careful. I love you guys. P.S. Ha! They're saying, y'all already knew this. So for me, the High Priestess card always comes out when the audience already knows, or the person on the other end already knows. So you guys already knew this. Some of you already knew that I was going to you probably already knew that I was going to break away and have a different channel. I'm going to keep the tarot channel, but I'm going to break away with another channel also. Some of you guys probably already knew that, but all of you guys, I would say, knew that whenever we get all up in our head during meditation, it's like we cut the receiving mode off. It's like we put static in the way of the antenna or something like that, and we no longer hear what else is there to be said. So there's Spirit saying they already knew that. Look, but again, it's things that we learn from our own experiences. We learn stuff, and we can truly help each other if we're willing to be vulnerable and share. I'm not a guru. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a guru. I'm not a person who knows everything, who has the only answers about anything. Nothing like that. But I'm willing to get out here and say what I do know based on my own personal experience. And you guys could do the same thing. And even the things I do know, I don't necessarily know, right? It's just my truth. And so I feel like Spirit's saying, guys, we all can do that for each other. We've all had so much that we've experienced at some place in our life that we can teach on. There's something that you've done, right? There's something that you have done that you know better than other people. Not in an arrogant way or a I know this better than you do, but that you know, but that you know deep in your heart, I know that whenever I get in my head during meditation, I put a block up on that receiving antenna. I know that it causes static. I know that. But I did it anyway, right? So we can do that. We can get on here and we can talk about the things that we know, and that we still fall down, we still make mistakes, that kind of stuff. And when we do that, right, I feel like Spirit's saying whenever we do that kind of stuff, guys, we don't only get more clarity about our own situations, but we help other people find clarity too. It's like this sword is the sword of truth. It's the sword of communication. It's the sword of understanding. It's about clarity. And there's so much growth hanging off of here. I really feel like this particular Spirit Mail message is all about you understanding that you have something that you guys can teach. You really do. And it's something that I really feel like it's something that's been experiential in your life, that you know this. You know it. Not necessarily because you've been it, but maybe you've been on the other side of it, so you know it. So I really think you guys, Spirit's asking you to dig deep with this message and figure out what is it that you know. Something simple like that, like with that meditation. I know that when I get in my head, it's like I put static in the way of the antenna and I can no longer receive. But I did it. But we find ourselves doing it, right? So just something simple like that. There's something that you know. I want to know in the comments, what do you know that you know? And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Until then, I'm not going to say go out and have a super duper day, but stay in and have a super duper day. I love you guys so much. Bye.